Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be starting our new unit on the Aral Sea, and we're going to be looking at this essential question. How are humans affected by the changes they make to their physical environment? Listen to me. How are humans affected by the changes they make to their physical environment? So we're going to be tackling this issue in regards to looking at the Aral Sea. So right now what I want you to do is I want you to open up your workbook to page 186 till you get to this preview right here, preview chapter 26. It's in your workbook on page 186. So push pause right now, and this will give you the opportunity to open up your workbook. So do that right now. Okay, so keep pushing, have your pause button. Okay, so here's the first photograph I want you looking at here. It is, so looking at your workbook page, first question is, from where do you think this image was taken? So looking at this picture, all right, you can see it was taken in 1964. I've given you a hint already, all right. So answer that question, where do you think this image was taken? So write that down for number one. And what do you think this image shows? All right. Think of the physical features that are around this area. Okay. So fill out question number two. And during this activity at any time, by all means, push pause while you are filling out the workbook page. Okay. So as you know, you can see here this was taken in 1964. So what do you think this area looks like today? So looking at question number three. Okay, what would you expect this area to look any different if the image were taken today? In what ways? How would it change over time? So answer question number three, push pause, and answer question number three. Okay, boom. So you've answered questions 1, 2, and 3. As you know, it's from, you're getting ideas that it's from the Aral Sea. Now looking at this picture right here, looking at step 2, what do you think the red dotted lines mean? Yeah, of course. This is where the Aral Sea used to be, right? This is how big that it used to be, all right? So the red lines show where the Aral Sea waters at one time went, okay? So question number 2 is, what do you think has happened over time? So answer that question. This is your own thoughts, your own ideas of how do you think this occurred. Notice that this was taken back in 2005, but how do you think that the Aral Sea has shrunk over time? So, and you can do that by looking at the differences between this picture and this picture, okay? So you can see the differences between the two, okay? Again, at any time, push pause so you can get your ideas down. Now, here's the big question, all right? Back to the essential question. How are humans affected by the changes they make to their physical environment? Looking at question number 3 in the preview, if you look at question number 3 in the preview, right here, down at the bottom, how might the lives of people living near the Aral Sea, such as farmers, fishing crews, and factory workers, be affected by this change? So right now, think of some ideas. Okay, you've seen over time how the Aral Sea has shrunk. How has that impacted farmers, fishing crews, factory workers, okay? How does this impact them? Again, by looking at the essential question, okay? How are humans affected by changes they make to their physical environment? In fact, right now, I want you to write the essential question at the top of your workbook page on 186, on preview 26. So write down essential question, and I want you to put, how are humans affected by changes they make to their physical environment? Again, I'll say it again. At the top of page 186, on the preview, up on the top, right, essential question, write down, how are humans affected by changes they make to their physical environments? If you have to rewind it, by all means, rewind it, okay? So push pause here. Make sure you have all 6 questions filled out on the preview page 186, okay? All right, welcome back. Now, grab your textbook from underneath your desk. I want you to open up your textbook to page 379, and I want you to follow along with me. Open up to page 379, okay? You ready to go? Follow along with me. So the introduction. In 1960, Monaco was a fishing town in the Soviet Union. The town was nearly surrounded by the Aral Sea, a large lake in the Soviet republics of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Visitors to Monaco in 1960 saw fishing boats bobbing at its docks. At that time, Monaco had a population of about 40,000 people. Most of these people made a living by farming, fishing, or working in the city's fish canneries. All that has changed. If you visited Monaco today, you would find it surrounded by dust. Although a 20-foot welcome sign depicts a fish and a seagull, you wouldn't see the Aral Sea anywhere. The shoreline of this inland sea has withdrawn, and not just a small amount. The water's edge is nearly 90 miles from Monaco. Monaco and the surrounding area suffer from water stress, which occurs when an area requires more water than it has. As the Aral Sea has shrunk, water stress has increased in this region. The area also suffers from environmental degradation. To degrade something means to damage it or wear it down. In the Aral Sea region, the environment has been degraded by misuse of what little water there is. So in this chapter, you will find out what caused the shrinking of the Aral Sea. We will learn about the environmental degradation in the surrounding region, and you will see how damage to the environment has affected farming, fishing, and the quality of life in this region. So again, you see the essential question here. Make sure it's written at the top, okay, on your preview page, right here, top of your preview page, 26. All right, how are humans affected by changes they make to their physical environment? So you look at this graphic organizer on the bottom of 379. It says this illustration shows the Aral Sea at two different times. Note how much smaller it is in 2005 than 64. The arrows represent three aspects of life that have been affected by the shrinking of the sea. Keep this illustration in mind as you try to answer the essential question. How are humans, right, when we make changes to our environment, how does it impact us? Okay, so we've looked at the beginning here on chapter 26. We looked at, let me see here and pull it open here. Okay, so we read this introduction. We looked at this essential question right here. So you see it on your screen. You see it in your workbook. And now it's in your workbook. Obviously, it's at the bottom of page 379. So let's make sure we have that written down and you have a really good understanding of this essential question. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause and I want you to go to Google Classroom. And under daily assignments, I want you to watch the first Aral Sea video, number 1. I want you to watch Aral Sea video number 1. Also, I want you to get out your notebook. In your notebook, go to your notes section, and I want you to write down the topic Aral Sea video number 1, and I want you to write down 3 things from the video that stand out to you. Okay, just 3 things. The video is a little bit over 5 minutes long. As you're watching the video, write down 3 important things from the video, okay? So right now, get out your notebook, have your earbuds. There are earbuds at the front of the room if you don't have any, so get earbuds out and watch the video, Aral Sea number 1, and as you're watching it, write down 3 things from the video, okay? So push pause. Boom! Welcome back. So what are those 3 things that stood out to you from the video? Wow, it's amazing to me of what has happened over a period of time and how the lives of many people there have changed. All right, so hopefully you have a little better understanding of the history and so forth of the Aral Sea. So you should have 3 things written down in your notebook from the video. So next thing I want you to do is I want you to go to I want you to go to the geoterms on page 187. So go to your geoterms on page 187. Okay. So let's get to the geoterms, and I want you to do just the definition column right here. Okay, just the definition column, and you're going to get down these geoterms for this section. Okay. So right now, take your time with this. Open up your workbook to page 187, and you're going to use the following pages, 380 and 381, okay, 26.1 and 26.2 to answer the questions, okay? So push pause on the video right now and answer the definition column for page 187. So push pause. Boom! Welcome back. Hey, great to, I hope you guys are learning something about the Aral Sea. What I want you to do right now, you should have the geoterms done. You should have the definition column. I want you to go to Google Classroom. Now watch Aral Sea video number 2. Okay? So now I want you to continue to write 3 new things from the video that you have learned in your notebook. Okay? So you should have a total of 6 different things that you have learned from the video, okay? So get ready to push pause, watch the Aral Sea video number 2, and write 3 new things down in your notebook. Hey, welcome back. Hope you've learned some new things from the Aral Sea video number 2. So again, you should have a total of 6 things written down from Aral Sea video number 1. Now you've watched Aral Sea video number 2. Okay, so get a good idea of their history and where they currently are. All right, so for the remaining part of the class, I want you to go back to Google Classroom and I want you to work on this Quizlet right here. You can play this Quizlet, Geography Live, Chapter 26, the Aral Sea. Okay, it's posted in Google Classroom. Finish strong, class. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. I'm at a meeting for a one-to-one conference to get computers for freshmen in a couple of years, so I appreciate everyone being a team player. All right, so again, what is the essential question? You need to make sure you understand that, right? How are humans affected by changes they make to their environment? All right, so thank you very much for all that you do. I look forward to seeing everybody on Tuesday. All right, so this is Mr. Nagel out here. Thanks.